A luxury store in Paris rejected Ms. May Musk, the mother of a billionaire, just because of her appearance. But today, Veneris will pay for this act of disdain. This story will make you reevaluate your own worth. The scene in Paris in the early morning, the streets bustling with luxury cars passing by. Ms. May Musk, at the age of 76, walks confidently yet simply. Though she is the mother of Elon Musk, a famous billionaire, she could have anything she wanted, but today she just wanted to treat herself to a small birthday gift. A gift she could buy for herself, without relying on her son's help. May stops in front of the Veneris store. It is one of the most luxurious stores in Paris, where stars, royalty, and millionaires come to shop. She has worked her whole life, built a career, and raised her children. Today, she just wants to treat herself to a small gift. Though she doesn't need anything extravagant, she only wants something to remind her of the years that have passed. She enters the store, waiting for the security guard to open the door. Vincent, the security guard in a shiny black suit, looks her up and down with a disdainful gaze. Vincent, annoyed, eyeing May from head to toe. Sorry, the store is closed for a private event. You might want to try other stores outside. May, surprised, a bit confused. But they just entered. Why can't I go in? Vincent turns away without answering, his gaze full of disdain. Making May feel like she's being judged just for what she's wearing. May, stepping forward, her voice becoming tense, pointing at the pair who just entered, her tone growing sharper. Those shoes aren't any different from mine. They aren't dressed more luxuriously than I am. Vincent, coldly, without emotion. They could be special guests. As for you, I think you should try another store, one that suits your style better. May, angry, unable to hold back anymore. My style isn't the issue. The question is, why can't I enter this store like everyone else? Vincent doesn't answer, he just turns away, still carrying a look of contempt. But at that moment, Madame Dupont, the store manager, steps out from inside, noticing the situation. Madame Dupont, walking over, her voice filled with mockery, her eyes evaluating May from head to toe. Sorry, but we can't accommodate everyone. This is a luxury store, not a place for tourists to come and browse our goods. We only welcome customers who have the right presence. May, astonished, her voice filled with disappointment. Presence? I'm a woman who has lived through a lifetime of struggles. And I don't deserve to walk into this store just because I'm not wearing expensive clothes. Madame Dupont, smirking. Looking at her as if it's nothing to worry about. You must understand, we can't let the store become a place where anyone can just walk in. We only serve those who truly deserve this level of class. That's the billionaire standard. May, her anger rising, but she tries to control the overwhelming disappointment inside. So I'm not classy enough? Just because I'm not wearing the outfit you consider worthy? May stands frozen, feeling judged just for what she's wearing. The cold attitude and words from Vincent and Madame Dupont felt like a slap in the face. The sense of rejection became more pronounced. She turns and walks out of the store. At that moment, a female employee named Zara, standing nearby, watches in regret as Ms. May Musk is treated this way. But she doesn't dare speak out. She just stands silently and turns her face away. Zara, whispering to a colleague standing nearby. She didn't do anything wrong. Why are they treating her like that? Colleague, with an indifferent tone. She's not the type of customer we usually welcome. Probably just a tourist. May walks out into the rain, feeling judged and rejected. The raindrops fall on her face. But they can't hide the tears inside her heart. The feeling of hurt was like an unhealable wound, she tries not to let her emotions overwhelm her. May, her voice painful but still trying to stay calm, walking outside, muttering to herself. Once again, it's not because I don't have money, it's because I'm not beautiful enough. I've lived through so many difficult years, and now I'm being rejected because of my outward appearance. May returned to the hotel after the incident at Veneris. The rain outside seemed to weigh down the sadness in her heart. Her legs were tired after a long day. But what bothered her the most were the rejections, the contempt she had just endured. She sat down on the chair by the window, her gaze staring outside. But her mind couldn't let go of the image of the scene that had just unfolded. The words from the security guard and the store manager still echoed in her ears. The feeling of hurt grew stronger and more distinct. She took a deep breath, trying to shake off the emptiness in her heart. Though she knew she could seek help from her family. She still felt an indescribable loneliness. She knew, even though she was the mother of a billionaire, society still often viewed her as an outsider. With a decision in mind, May picked up her phone and called Elon. At that moment, she didn't want to bother her son, but the hurt in her heart couldn't be turned off. What she had just experienced needed to be shared. Elon, gentle, concerned. "Mom, it's me. Are you okay? I can hear in your voice that you're feeling down." May remained silent for a moment, trying to hold back her emotions. She wanted to say everything but couldn't find the words. After a while, she gently continued. "May, softly, a bit sad. Son, I went to a store in Paris. Veneris. But they turned me away just because of the old clothes I was wearing. I feel really bad, son." Elon was surprised, his voice became more serious. Elon, firmly, realizing something was wrong. "They turned you away because of your appearance. Veneris. You don't deserve to be treated like that, you know that." May remained silent, her heart swelling with sadness. She didn't want to trouble her son, but the hurt couldn't be shaken off. Finally, she continued. "May, softly, hesitantly. Son, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just an older woman in old clothes. Nothing special. But they looked at me like I didn't deserve to step into that store." Elon, voice resolute, full of anger. "You can't be treated like that. I can't stand seeing you treated like you don't matter just because of your appearance. You're the greatest woman I know. No one has the right to turn you away like that." May stood still, feeling Elon's anger in his words. His words not only comforted her, but also filled her with a sense of pride. Her son had recognized the injustice, and that made her feel less alone. May, hesitantly, weakly. "You don't have to do this, Elon. I'm just an older woman who's been through a lot of struggles." Elon, more determined, not letting her continue. "No. You don't understand. I can't let you be treated like this. I'll do everything I can to change this. I won't let people like them look down on you, or anyone else." May couldn't say anything more. She just felt a small spark of hope inside. Elon wasn't just her son, he was someone who could change the world, and she knew that this time, he wouldn't stop until things changed. This call changed everything. Not just a word of encouragement from her son, but a promise, a big decision from Elon. He was no longer just a billionaire. He became someone fighting not just for his mother, but for those who faced injustice, like what his mother had just endured. Elon would not accept that Veneris, or anyone, could reject a person just because of their appearance. He was determined to turn this incident into a true revolution in the luxury industry. With the decision made, Elon didn't just want to change a store. He wanted to change a long-established system, a system that discriminated, judged, and excluded those who were not suitable. But would Veneris, with its power and reputation, agree to change? And could Elon, with all his determination, transform an industry that had long had deeply ingrained standards? Elon sat in his dark office, the light from his desk lamp illuminating his face, deep in thought and full of determination. He stared at the computer screen, where information about the Veneris store, where his mother had just been rejected, was displayed. The anger and frustration still lingered inside him. His mother's words, the contempt she had endured, everything was building up, making it impossible for him to sit still any longer. Not just because of his mother, but for everyone who had to suffer such discrimination. He decided he had to act immediately. Elon, sighing, standing up, running his hand through his hair. "This can't go on any longer. My mom has endured this her whole life. No one deserves to be treated like that." He sat back down at his desk, his eyes lighting up with steely resolve. The goal was clear, to change the entire industry. He picked up the phone and called his marketing director. "Elon, cold but determined. Get me the marketing director right now." In less than a few minutes, the marketing director walked in, looking worried. He knew Elon was very angry, but he had never seen him so determined before. Marketing director, worried, standing attentively. "Mr. Elon, what's going on? This is really not what we planned. Do you want to buy Veneris?" Elon stared directly at the marketing director, his eyes cold, never blinking. Elon, voice cold, unwavering. "Yes, I want to buy Veneris. What I need is not fame, but real change. My mother is not the only one being treated like this. I want to change the way this entire industry views human worth." No one deserves to be judged just for their appearance. I'm going to change everything. The marketing director, though worried, looked at Elon with respect. He knew that when Elon had made up his mind, nothing could change his will. Marketing director, hesitant, but still expressing concern. But Mr. Elon, this will affect our reputation. People will think you're overreacting, doing unnecessary things. Surely, many will oppose this. Elon, looking the marketing director in the eye, voice calm but firm. Let them think what they want. If I can change this entire industry, I will. Never fear change. If we can change the mindset of an industry, change the way people view a person, then why should we be afraid? The marketing director had nothing more to say. He understood that when Elon Musk had made a decision, everything would go in his direction, and sometimes, change required bold steps. Elon continued giving orders, his determination clear in every word. Elon, sighing, his eyes bright with determination. What I want is to create real change. Not just in the luxury fashion industry, but in how everyone views each other. From today, I won't let anyone suffer like my mother did. Don't worry, I will lead the way, and I will win this battle. Marketing director, serious, looking at Elon with respect and admiration. Yes, Mr. Elon. I will follow your command. We'll start immediately. Elon sat back down, took a deep breath. And then looked back at the computer screen. The numbers about Veneris were still on the screen, but now, they were no longer just dry figures. They were tools for him to execute a revolution. To change an industry that had long existed in discrimination. He didn't just want to change how Veneris viewed customers, he wanted to change how the entire luxury industry judged people. Elon, to himself. Now is not the time to stop. This is an opportunity to change, and I won't let it slip away. My mother deserves respect. Everyone deserves that. With this decision, Elon was not just the son protecting his mother. He became someone fighting for all those who were treated unjustly just because of things beyond their control. This was the first step of a much bigger battle that Elon was ready to step into. A week later, Elon had finally completed the plan to acquire Veneris. He felt that change was beginning to take effect. Not just a big business deal, but he had created an opportunity to change the entire industry. Elon, looking at the acquisition confirmation letter. Voice filled with pride. Now, we can start changing everything. This is not just good for Veneris, but for everyone who's been judged just for their appearance. Now. Everything was ready for the next step. Elon knew that this fight was not just for his mother, but for everyone who had been treated like May. He prepared for a special event at Veneris, where everything would begin to change, and where his mother would see everything her son had done to fulfill his promise. 3 days later, May received an invitation to attend an event at Veneris. Ms. May, reading the invitation, surprised. I can't believe it. I'm going back to Veneris. She arrived at the Veneris store and immediately noticed a clear change. Vincent, the security guard, was waiting at the door, but this time, his demeanor was no longer cold. He bowed his head in greeting, his eyes hesitant but full of respect. Vincent, hesitantly, speaking softly. Hello, ma'am. Happy birthday. I'm really sorry for what happened before. Ms. May walked confidently into the store. The feeling of being respected after being rejected had created a significant change in her. Elon stood on stage, looked at his mother, and then said something important. Elon, with a proud, powerful voice. Mom, this is the change. We will no longer judge people by their appearance, but by their character and actions. Elon, during his speech. Today, I want to change the way we perceive human worth. No one, regardless of their appearance or financial status, should be rejected simply because of what they wear. I didn't buy Veneris just because my mother was turned away, but to change this entire industry. Ms. May looked up, unable to contain her emotion as she saw her son fulfilling the promise he had made long ago. Both she and everyone present there understood that today, everything had changed. Ms. May, smiling faintly, speaking softly to Elon. Thank you, son, for always remembering that promise. Elon, smiling, looking at his mother. You taught me everything. About resilience and dignity. I'm just doing what I think you deserve. Ending. Don't let appearance determine your worth. The truth about human value lies in dignity, not in external things. After Elon's speech, all the employees of Veneris were stunned. No one thought their lives would change because of a bold decision made by Elon Musk. Vincent, who had previously looked down on Ms. May, stood frozen, unable to meet her gaze. His apologies became meaningless in the face of the change Elon had brought. Immediately, Elon ordered Vincent and the other employees with negative attitudes toward Ms. May to leave the store. Vincent lowered his head, not daring to say anything, and then left the store. However, that wasn't the end of it. Madame Dupont, the store manager, who had previously shown contempt for Ms. May, could not escape responsibility either. Elon looked directly at her and issued his command. Elon, in a firm, angry tone. You too. People like you cannot continue to run the store we are striving for. Veneris needs a complete overhaul, and it starts with you. Madame Dupont, face pale. Not daring to resist. Mr. I don't understand. Elon, cutting her off, his tone firm. You don't need to understand. Your actions have spoken for themselves. You are no longer fit to lead here. Madame Dupont lowered her head, knowing she couldn't salvage the situation. A sense of shame and guilt spread through her. Immediately, she was fired from the store. Among the crowd of employees, there was one person whom Elon noticed, Zara. The young employee who had always shown concern for the injustice but had never dared to speak out. Zara stood silently, witnessing everything, her heart full of pride. Elon smiled at her. Elon, with a gentle, encouraging voice. You're the only one who dared to recognize the wrong and keep your conscience intact. I need people like you to help build this environment. Zara, surprised, her eyes hesitant but deeply moved. Thank you, Mr. Elon. I just wanted to do the right thing. I will do my best to create a new Veneris. A place where everyone feels they are worthy. Elon, smiling, proud. Well then, congratulations. You will be the new manager of Veneris. I believe you can do it. Zara couldn't believe her ears. In just one day, she had gone from a sales associate to the head of a luxury store, a place where she had once been part of a discriminatory system. She felt the change within herself and realized she had been given a great mission. Today was not just a change of a store, but a comprehensive change in how we view people. Elon and Ms. May taught us that dignity doesn't depend on appearance or what we wear, but on what we do, how we treat others. We should not let anyone feel they are not worthy just because they don't meet some standard. And as Elon said, the true value of a person lies in dignity, not in the outside things.